Scorpio, November 2025 is your cosmic crucible. The full moon exposes hidden truths, Mars fuels bold moves, and Mercury retrograde twists your path. This isn't just astrology, it's soul surgery. Prepare for emotional eruptions, karmic reckonings, and a phoenix-level rebirth. The stars aren't whispering, they're screaming. Are you ready to transform? Chapter 1, November 1st to 10th. The Awakening. Scorpio, the first 10 days of November 2025 are not gentle, they're electric. The cosmos begins this month with a whisper that quickly turns into a roar. You are entering a portal of heightened sensitivity, psychic downloads, and emotional exposure. The veil thins and what's been hidden within you and around you starts to surface. The moon moves through Pisces and Aries, activating your 5th and 6th houses. This subtle but potent shift stirs your creative instincts and intuitive intelligence. Pisces, a fellow water sign, harmonizes with your emotional depth, enhancing your ability to perceive what others miss. You may feel a magnetic pull toward inner reflection, symbolic language, and mystic truths. Aries, however, jolts your system with urgency, demanding action, clarity, and movement. These lunar transitions set the tone. Scorpio must balance introspection with decisive momentum. This is not a time for passive observation. The moon's journey through these signs pushes Scorpio to confront the tension between emotional fluidity and fiery drive. You may feel a surge of inner restlessness, a desire to act on long-held instincts. Trust them, but temper them with discernment. The full moon in Taurus on November 5th is the centerpiece of this chapter. It lands directly opposite your sun, illuminating the axis of self and other, desire and possession, intimacy and autonomy. Taurus rules your 7th house, relationships, contracts, and emotional entanglements. This lunation is a mirror and it doesn't lie. Expect revelations. The full moon exposes what's been simmering beneath the surface in your relational dynamics. Power imbalances, unspoken needs, and emotional debts rise to consciousness. Taurus, ruled by Venus, demands sensual truth and grounded loyalty. Scorpio, ruled by Pluto and Mars, seeks depth, transformation, and emotional intensity. The clash is cosmic and it's personal. This full moon may feel like a confrontation with your own shadow. You're being asked to examine what you truly value in others, and whether those values align with your evolving emotional blueprint. It's a time to release outdated attachments, especially those rooted in fear, control, or illusion. The stars are not asking for compromise, they're demanding authenticity. From November 6th to 10th, Venus squares Jupiter, creating a tension between indulgence and growth. Venus, still in Libra, activates your 12th house, hidden desires, subconscious patterns, and karmic residue. Jupiter, retrograding through Cancer, amplifies your 9th house, belief systems, higher learning, and spiritual expansion. This square is a cosmic tug-of-war. Scorpio is being pulled between the comfort of emotional familiarity and the call to evolve beyond it. Venus in the 12th house may tempt you to retreat into fantasy, nostalgia, or escapism. Jupiter, however, pushes you to confront your emotional truths and expand your spiritual framework. This transit challenges Scorpio to refine its emotional appetites. What do you crave and why? Are your desires rooted in soul truth or inherited conditioning? The square forces you to choose. Cling to the past or leap into the unknown. Neither path is easy, but only one leads to transformation. Throughout this first decade, Scorpio is undergoing a subtle but profound recalibration. The planetary alignments are not chaotic, they're surgical. The Moon, Venus, and Jupiter are slicing through emotional layers, exposing what's stagnant, what's sacred, and what must be surrendered. Your ruling planet Pluto continues its slow grind through Capricorn, reinforcing themes of structural transformation. You are being asked to dismantle outdated emotional frameworks and rebuild from soul truth. Mars, still in Scorpio until mid-month, gives you the courage to act on these insights. Use it wisely. This is not a time for external validation. The cosmos is calling you inward, to confront, to cleanse, and to clarify. Scorpio thrives in the depths, and November begins by plunging you into them. The question is not whether you'll transform, it's how consciously you'll choose to do so. Chapter 2, November 11th to 20th. The Crucible. Scorpio, the second decade of November 2025 is not a continuation, it's a confrontation. The cosmos tightens its grip, forcing you into the furnace of self-discovery. This is the Crucible, a period of intense pressure, cosmic friction, and soul refinement. The stars are not asking you to change, they're demanding it. On November 12th, Mars, your ancient ruler, leaves Scorpio and enters Sagittarius. This shift is seismic. Mars in Scorpio is strategic, surgical, and emotionally lethal. But in Sagittarius, Mars becomes bold, impulsive, and idealistic. For Scorpio, this means your energy moves from internal intensity to external ambition. Mars now activates your second house of resources, values, and self-worth. You'll feel a surge of drive to secure what you believe you deserve, whether it's financial stability, recognition, or emotional validation. But this isn't just about money. It's about proving your worth to yourself. Mars in Sagittarius doesn't wait for permission. It charges forward. You may feel compelled to take risks, initiate new ventures, or challenge limiting beliefs about abundance. However, this fire comes with volatility. Mars in Sagittarius can be reckless, especially when fueled by emotional urgency. Scorpio must learn to channel this energy with precision. Avoid impulsive decisions. Instead, use this transit to align your actions with your evolving values. What you pursue now must reflect your soul's truth, not your ego's hunger. On November 16th, Mercury stations retrograde in Sagittarius, further intensifying the second house themes. This retrograde is not just a slowdown, it's a recalibration. Mercury governs communication, thought, and perception. In retrograde, it turns inward, asking Scorpio to review, revise, and reframe. Expect mental fog, miscommunications, and delays, especially around finances, contracts, and self-expression. But beneath the surface, this retrograde is a gift. It invites Scorpio to question the stories you tell yourself about worth, success, and security. Are you chasing goals that no longer resonate? Are you undervaluing your talents or overcompensating for past wounds? This is a time to revisit old ideas, rework your plans, and listen to your inner voice. Mercury retrograde in Sagittarius challenges Scorpio to expand its mental horizons. You may be called to explore new philosophies, spiritual teachings, or creative frameworks. But don't rush. Let the insights unfold slowly. The truth you seek is buried beneath layers of conditioning, and Mercury is here to help you excavate it. On November 19th, Saturn, the cosmic taskmaster, stations direct in Pisces, activating your fifth house of creativity, pleasure, and self-expression. This is a pivotal moment. Saturn retrograde has been reviewing your commitments, testing your discipline, and exposing emotional immaturity. Now, as it turns direct, the lessons crystallize. Scorpio, you are being asked to take responsibility for your joy. Saturn in Pisces is a paradox. Structure meets surrender, discipline meets dream. In your fifth house, this transit forces you to confront how you express yourself, how you create, and how you love. Have you been hiding your light? Dismissing your passions? Settling for emotional crumbs? Saturn's direct motion brings clarity. You may feel a renewed sense of purpose, a desire to build something lasting, whether it's a creative project, a romantic connection, or a spiritual practice. But Saturn demands integrity. You must commit fully without illusion or avoidance. This is not a time for fantasy. It's a time for sacred construction. The planetary choreography of this chapter is relentless. Mars ignites your ambition, Mercury scrambles your thoughts, and Saturn demands maturity. Together, they form a crucible, a sacred container for transformation. Scorpio is being tested on every level: emotional, mental, material, and spiritual. This is not punishment, it's purification. The cosmos is stripping away what's false, unstable, or misaligned. You may feel exposed, uncertain, or overwhelmed. But beneath the chaos, a new foundation is forming. Scorpio is being forged into something stronger, wiser, and more authentic. Your instincts will be sharp, but your emotions may be volatile. Ground yourself in ritual, reflection, and truth. Avoid distractions. Focus on what matters. The choices you make now will echo into the future. This is your moment to define your values, claim your power, and build a life that reflects your soul's blueprint. Chapter 3, November 21st to 30th, The Phoenix Rises. Scorpio, the final stretch of November 2025 is your resurrection. After 2 intense decades of emotional excavation and karmic confrontation, The stars now open a portal to renewal. But this rebirth is not gentle, it's forged in fire. The cosmos demands that you rise not as who you were but as who you've become. On November 22nd, the Sun leaves Scorpio and enters Sagittarius, initiating a new solar cycle. This shift marks the end of your personal season and the beginning of a broader quest. The Sun now activates your second house of values, resources, and self-worth. You are no longer the seeker of shadows. You are the architect of light. This solar transition brings clarity. The emotional fog of early November begins to lift, revealing the terrain you must now build upon. Scorpio's inner world, once flooded with secrets and psychic debris, is now ready to be structured. The Sun in Sagittarius encourages bold vision, expansive thinking, and unapologetic self-belief. But this light is not passive, it's provocative. You may feel a sudden urge to redefine your goals, assert your boundaries, or claim what's rightfully yours. The Sun's fire ignites your desire to be seen, valued, and respected. This is your moment to step into the spotlight, not for ego but for truth. Between November 24th and 26th, the Moon moves through Scorpio and Sagittarius, echoing the Sun's journey and deepening your emotional awareness. The Moon in Scorpio intensifies your inner landscape, stirring memories, instincts, and unresolved feelings. You may feel emotionally raw, but this vulnerability is sacred. It's the final purge before rebirth. As the Moon enters Sagittarius, the emotional tone shifts. You begin to feel lighter, more optimistic, and more future-focused. This lunar transition mirrors your own metamorphosis. From emotional depth to visionary expansion, Scorpio is learning to trust the process, to release control, and to embrace the unknown. This period is ideal for emotional integration. Reflect on what you've learned, what you've lost, and what you've gained. The Moon's journey through these signs offers a chance to honor your transformation and prepare for the next chapter. You are not the same Scorpio who entered November, and that's the point. As November closes, Jupiter continues its retrograde through Cancer, activating your ninth house of philosophy, higher learning, and spiritual truth. This transit is subtle but profound. Jupiter retrograde invites Scorpio to reflect on the emotional foundations of your beliefs. What do you truly believe about love, purpose, and destiny? And where did those beliefs come from? Cancer's influence makes this reflection deeply personal. You may revisit childhood memories, ancestral patterns, or emotional imprints that shaped your worldview. Jupiter asks you to expand, but only after you've excavated the roots. This is a time to question inherited truths and replace them with soul-aligned wisdom. The ninth house also governs teaching, travel, and spiritual exploration. You may feel drawn to study mystic traditions, explore new philosophies, or share your insights with others. But Jupiter retrograde cautions against rushing. Let the revelations unfold organically. The answers you seek are already within you, they simply need space to rise. The final days of November are not a conclusion, they're a coronation. Scorpio has walked through fire, faced the mirror, and survived the storm. Now the ashes settle and the phoenix begins to rise. But this rebirth is not symbolic, it's energetic. Your aura shifts, your vibration elevates, and your path realigns. You may feel a renewed sense of purpose, a clarity of vision, and a deep inner peace. The chaos of earlier transits has cleared the way for authentic expression. Scorpio is now ready to lead, not from fear but from wisdom. Your transformation is complete, but your journey is just beginning. This chapter invites you to claim your power, honor your truth, and step boldly into your future. The stars have stripped you bare, but they've also revealed your essence. You are not broken, you are reborn. And the world is waiting for your light.